You feel exhausted, and then you again have bursts of energy. Your body feels stiff. You have joint pain. You suddenly have headaches. You have mood swings. You suddenly feel overwhelmed by crowds or loud noises. You feel like you are spaced out from reality. Does that sound familiar to you? Do you know what is going on? Let me help you by giving you some clarity on why you are experiencing these symptoms. So we are going to look at the uncomfortable symptoms that you experience as you are changing, as you are evolving, as you are starting to vibrate on a higher frequency. You can also see it as changes that occur in the body as you are moving from a carbon-based body to a crystalline body. This is a metaphysical concept, so bear with me and I will explain it as well as I can. If you are already subscribed to the channel, I want to thank you. And if you have not subscribed, if you find this topic of interest, consider to subscribe to the channel, as next week I will make a follow-up video that will go into the result, the outcome of all these changes. So in the video we will look at the mental, physical, emotional and spiritual symptoms that you might experience during this period of transition, and I will also give you ways in which to cope with it so that you can better navigate it. So let's dive in. So let's first look at the concept of our body changing from carbon-based to crystalline. Our carbon-based body refers to our physical form, which is composed primarily of carbon molecules. Now, the crystalline body that is referred to is a higher vibrational state of being, where the body's molecular structure shifts to a more refined crystalline form. And this happens with heightened spiritual awareness and alignment with the higher frequencies of energy. So this is because we need to be able to, our bodies need to be able to handle these higher frequencies. So this light body is basically a reconciliation between the soul and the dense physical body. So between the physical and the spiritual. This is all part of the shift from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. So as we go through these changes, we experience uncomfortable symptoms. They are often referred to as ascension symptoms. It can manifest on the physical, emotional, mental and spiritual levels. And if we understand these symptoms, it will help you to navigate the process more easily. So first, let's look at the physical symptoms. You can be fatigued and exhausted. You can feel as if you don't get enough rest, although you do. You can feel that you need more frequent naps. Secondly, you have these aches and pains in the body. That is muscle and joint pain, and in this case there is no specific medical reason. And then you can have stiffness and soreness, especially in your neck, shoulders and back. I must tell you that I'm experiencing these so often, and that is also why I wanted to make the video, because I know there are many people experiencing these and not understanding what's going on. Thirdly, there are headaches and migraines. It can be persistent or reoccurring, and with that a sensitivity for light and sound. Many people experience digestive issues, so their appetite and eating habits might change, and they have stomach discomfort like bloating. Fifthly, many people experience flu-like symptoms, feel very run down but not being sick. In the sixth place, many people will experience insomnia or difficulty falling asleep and vivid dreams and nightmares. And in the last place, the last physical symptom that I want to mention is the sensitivity to energy, meaning you are more sensitive to electromagnetic fields and toxins in the environment. Now, secondly, let's look at the emotional symptoms. I'm just going to mention 3 emotional symptoms to you. The first one is emotional ups and downs. You know, those mood swings, feelings of sadness, anxiety, or irritability, without any clear triggers for it. Then there is, in the second place, a release of old emotions. Old traumas and unresolved emotions might come to the surface, and then there is the crying and emotional outbursts because of the old emotions being released. Don't fight these, just let it out, let it be released. This is very cleansing and actually freeing. And in the third place, we get an increased sensitivity, where you might feel overwhelmed by crowds, by loud noises where you have not before been influenced by these. And then there's a heightened sense of empathy, and that can be very exhausting. This is all because you can pick up frequencies more easily. Thirdly, let's look at the mental symptoms. And when I name these, remember now, you are not alone. These are experienced by everyone going through this. So be very compassionate with yourself. I'm going to name 3 mental symptoms. The first one is mental fog and confusion. You have difficulty concentrating or remembering things. In the second place, you have a shift in perception. You start to question old beliefs and thought patterns, and therefore you feel the sense of disorientation and that you don't recognize yourself. In the third place, the third mental symptom is that you have increased intuition. So you have sudden insights and you know things without reasoning, without logical reasoning. Then you can feel overwhelmed from receiving too much intuitive information, or you are not used to it. But this will all change as we complete the shift. In the last place, I just want to name 3 spiritual symptoms that you might experience. In the first place, you feel disconnected. You might feel disconnected from your own spiritual practices or even your guides. You might therefore feel lost and without direction. In the second place, you might experience existential angst, where you question the meaning of life and your own purpose. You might feel empty or long for something more. And in the third place, you have a spiritual crisis. You have intense spiritual experiences that can be confusing or frightening, and then you might also feel a void, a spiritual void, which are often described as the dark night of the soul. So I'm telling you about the symptoms so that you can recognize that. But let me give you a few things that will help you to cope with these. And remember, you will finally experience all the wonderful things that is brought about through these changes. 5 things that can help you. The first one is to have self-care practices. Rest, relax when it's needed. Do physical activities like yoga and walking. Walking in nature is extremely beneficial and helpful. In the second place, have a healthy diet. Make sure that you eat nourishing foods and stay hydrated. If you can, avoid caffeine, alcohol, and processed foods. In the third place, make sure you have some emotional support. Even if it's just from people online that understand you. That is why I'm also creating this community. In the comments, reach out if you need support. And you can reach out to your friends or family if they do understand you. Practice mindfulness and also meditate. That will keep you grounded. In the fourth place, as spiritual practice, I can't emphasize enough that you should regularly meditate. This will connect you with these higher frequencies that will start to become more and more familiar to you. I also see spending time in nature as a spiritual practice because your energy will be recalibrated. In the fifth place, you can look at energy work like Reiki or acupuncture or energy healing if you feel that your body needs it. You can also use crystals or essential oils or sound healing. I have a free ebook on energy healing. I will put the link in the description of where you can get it. You can just download the PDF. So I trust you found value in this video and that this will help you to understand the symptoms that you might experience. So just relax, enjoy the journey, and know that you are not alone in this. Shifting from the third dimension to the fifth dimension takes time. It takes courage, it takes understanding, self-reflection, and a willingness to be open to change. I'm sending you my infinite love till I speak to you again. Goodbye.